Once upon a time in a bustling city, there lived a curious boy named Tom, who had an insatiable love for nature and all its wonders. He spent his days exploring the great outdoors, searching for adventure, and discovering the beauty that surrounded him. One day, Tom's mother gifted him a pair of binoculars so he could observe the world around him in greater detail. From that moment on, Tom became an avid bird watcher, always on the lookout for new and exciting species to add to his life list. Meanwhile, across town, there lived a girl named Lily, who shared Tom's passion for nature. She loved nothing more than spending her free time in the park near her house, observing the birds, squirrels, and other animals that made their home there. One sunny morning, Tom decided to visit the park, hoping to spot some interesting birds. As he walked along the winding paths, he couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation. Suddenly, his eyes caught sight of a flash of brilliant blue, perched on a nearby tree branch. With his heart pounding, he raised his binoculars to get a closer look. At first, Tom couldn't believe his eyes. It was a beautiful bluebird, its feathers a stunning shade of azure. But as he continued to watch, he noticed something strange. The bluebird seemed to be struggling, its wings drooping and its movements sluggish. Concerned for the bird's well-being, Tom knew he had to take action. As Tom approached the bluebird cautiously, he could see that it was indeed injured. Its wing was twisted at an unnatural angle, and it was clearly unable to fly. With gentle hands, Tom picked up the bird and examined its injuries. To his dismay, he realized that it had broken its wing and would be unable to survive without proper care. Determined to help, Tom carefully cradled the bluebird in his hands and hurried home. Once inside, he set about nursing the bird back to health. He created a makeshift splint for its broken wing, ensuring it was comfortable and secure, and he fed it small amounts of water and birdseed every few hours to keep it hydrated and nourished. Day after day, Tom cared for the bluebird, and slowly but surely, the bird began to heal. Its strength returned, and the sparkle in its eye grew brighter with each passing hour. Tom's dedication and compassion were evident, and the bluebird seemed to sense its savior's love and kindness. Meanwhile, as Tom tended to the bluebird, he couldn't help but think about the vast network of support and resources available to him. He reached out to local wildlife rehabilitators and avian veterinarians, seeking their expertise and guidance. They provided him with valuable insights and advice, helping him to ensure that he was providing the best possible care for the injured bird. With their support and his unwavering determination, Tom knew that he could give the bluebird the second chance it deserved. After several weeks of dedicated care and rehabilitation, the bluebird's wing had fully healed. Its strength and mobility had returned, and it was ready to take flight once again. With a mix of emotions, Tom prepared to release the bluebird back into its natural habitat. He had grown attached to the bird during its recovery, but he knew that his role was to ensure its survival, not to keep it for himself. As the day of the release arrived, Tom took the bluebird to the park where he had first found it. Standing tall, he gently opened the cage, giving the bluebird space to take flight. At first, the bird hesitated, fluttering its wings nervously, but then, with a sudden burst of energy, it soared into the sky, disappearing into the boundless expanse above. Overwhelmed with a sense of accomplishment and joy, Tom watched as the bluebird flew away. It was a moment of pure liberation, knowing that he had played a part in its journey back to freedom. As the years passed, Tom never forgot the bluebird. The experience had ignited a passion for wildlife rehabilitation in him, and he continued to care for injured and orphaned animals whenever he could. One day, while strolling through the park, Tom's eyes caught sight of a familiar flash of blue. His heart skipped a beat as he raised his binoculars and focused on the bird before him. It was the bluebird, now adorned with a silver band on one leg. Tom recognized it instantly. It was the very same bird he had rescued and rehabilitated years ago. Overwhelmed with emotion, Tom rushed to grab his camera, hoping to capture a photo of the majestic creature. But as he raised the camera, the bluebird took flight, disappearing into the vast expanse of the sky. Disappointed but still elated to have seen his rescued bird again, Tom continued his walk through the park. As he strolled along the winding paths, he couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and gratitude. The park was a sanctuary for wildlife, and he had played a part in preserving that by rescuing the bluebird all those years ago. Suddenly, his ears perked up as he heard a familiar sound, a loud squawk echoing through the trees. Curiosity piqued, he followed the sound, eager to discover its source. As he rounded a bend in the path, Tom's eyes widened in surprise. Perched on a tree branch was a colorful parrot, its feathers a vibrant green and blue. But what truly captivated Tom's attention was the parrot's demeanor. It was strutting and preening, seemingly pleased with its own reflection in the glass pane. Tom couldn't help but chuckle at the parrot's antics. He had never seen anything quite like it before. Intrigued and amused, Tom decided to approach the parrot cautiously, hoping to get a closer look. As he drew nearer, the parrot suddenly stopped its preening and turned its head, fixing its beady eyes on Tom. To his surprise, the parrot spoke in a surprisingly clear voice. "Hello," it said. "I'm a talking parrot, and I love bananas." Tom was stunned. A talking parrot was beyond anything he could have imagined. Overwhelmed with excitement, he raised his camera, hoping to capture the parrot's astonished expression. The parrot, sensing Tom's admiration, let out a squawk and flapped its wings, as if taking flight. "Would you like to hear a joke?" it asked, its voice filled with mischief. Before Tom could respond, the parrot burst into laughter, its eyes twinkling with amusement. Tom, initially taken aback, couldn't help but join in. The parrot's infectious laughter echoed through the park, drawing curious glances from passers-by. As the laughter subsided, the parrot straightened its feathers and fixed its gaze on Tom. "I'm not just any ordinary parrot," it said mysteriously. "I'm a magical parrot with a secret mission." Intrigued, Tom leaned closer, eager to hear more. The parrot lowered its voice to a conspiratorial whisper. "I'm on a quest to find the legendary golden banana tree," it said. "They say the bananas from this tree can grant wishes." Tom's eyes widened. A tree that granted wishes. It sounded like something out of a fairy tale. "Can I help you on your quest?" he asked, his voice filled with wonder. The parrot looked Tom up and down, assessing him with a critical gaze. "You seem like a kind-hearted boy," it finally said. "I think I can trust you." And so, with a newfound sense of purpose, Tom joined the parrot on its quest to find the golden banana tree. Together, they embarked on a series of thrilling adventures, encountering talking animals, magical creatures, and enchanting landscapes along the way. Their journey took them through lush jungles, across sparkling rivers, and over towering mountains. With each passing day, Tom's determination grew stronger, fueled by the parrot's infectious enthusiasm and the promise of an extraordinary adventure. Finally, after weeks of searching, they stumbled upon a clearing, bathed in golden light. In the center stood a magnificent banana tree, its leaves shimmering with an otherworldly glow. It was the legendary golden banana tree. Overjoyed, Tom and the parrot approached the tree, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The parrot reached out and plucked a single banana from the tree. Its skin was a radiant gold, and when they peeled it open, a mysterious inscription revealed itself. The parrot carefully read the inscription aloud. "To the kind-hearted who seek adventure, May your journey be filled with laughter and friendship. The parrot turned to Tom, its eyes sparkling with gratitude. Thank you for helping me on my quest, it said. Now it's time for me to continue my journey. With a wave of its wing, the parrot took flight, soaring into the sky with grace and ease. Tom watched as the parrot disappeared into the distance, its colourful feathers a blur against the vast expanse of the blue sky. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Tom knew it was time to return home. With a heavy heart, he bid farewell to the golden banana tree, carrying with him the memories of his incredible adventure. Back in the familiar surroundings of his home, Tom couldn't shake off the feeling of bittersweet nostalgia. The parrot's parting words echoed in his mind. Your journey be filled with laughter and friendship. Suddenly, an idea struck him. He could share his adventures with others, bringing laughter and joy to their lives. With renewed determination, Tom started writing down every detail of his extraordinary journey with the talking parrot. He wrote about the parrot's comical antics, their thrilling escapades, and the enchanting landscapes they had encountered. As he poured his heart and soul into his writing, Tom realized that his journey was far from over. It had only just begun. He had discovered a new passion, a passion for storytelling. With his trusty binoculars in hand, ready to embark on new adventures, Tom ventured out into the world. He visited schools and community centers, sharing his captivating stories with wide-eyed audiences. His tales of talking parrots, magical banana trees, and whimsical creatures transported his listeners to faraway lands, igniting their imaginations and leaving them with a sense of wonder. As the years passed, Tom's reputation as a storyteller grew. Children and adults alike eagerly awaited his visits, hanging on every word as he brought his stories to life. Through his storytelling, Tom not only entertained, but also inspired. He reminded his audiences to embrace the unexpected, to appreciate the beauty of nature, and to treat all living beings with kindness and respect. And so, Tom's journey continued, filled with laughter, friendship, and the magic of storytelling. He had found his calling, and his heart soared with the joy of knowing that he was making a difference in the lives of those around him. And that's the end of our story. If you liked this story, please leave a comment below and share it with your friends. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.